Great day for Auburn football today. Really feel very, very good about the recruiting class that we just assembled. Starting out, the bottom line is you always look for what your needs are, obviously. And we feel like, we're looking for the right fit. We're looking for the right guy. And, we don't care about the stars and what they're ranked and what they're rated. We're just looking for the right fit at Auburn. And that's what we feel the best about today as we close out this day and move forward to the next year. We feel like that we scratched all the right itches. We started with our offensive and defensive lines, which was a huge part of the puzzle for us to fill the needs at those positions. And I feel like we did a great job with that. I feel like quarterback is obviously another huge part of the puzzle for us, certainly with Cam leaving early. And I feel like our secondary was a part of our football team that we needed to address as well. And not that there weren't other positions out there that we needed to recruit as well. But as we know in this league, offense and defensive lines is where it all starts. So we feel good about it, and I've got to give a lot of credit to our staff. They went out and got after it, and got a little bit of, you get a little bit behind sometimes when you play in 2 championship games where there's other people that can go out on the road and recruit while you're practicing and preparing for some of those games. But I'll take the trade-off every time. But we really got after it. So I'm very proud of our assistants that went on the road and worked day and night to bring in this class, and my hat's off to them. And we're just happy for the Auburn football family today because we really believe that this is another brick, I guess, if you will, in the foundation of what we're trying to build. We're still not there yet. We are definitely not there. We have not arrived by any stretch of the imagination, but we do feel like this, again, is going to put us in the right direction where we'd like this program to head as we move down the road.
Questions?
I guess talk about the last one, Gabe Wright today. I guess defensive tackles were probably good considered the least 3 really good ones.
Well, Gabe Wright's a guy that we have targeted for so many years, really since we got here. He was probably one of the first priorities that we had when he was a young player. We knew about him. He'd come over to our camps. He'd come over and visited, and that was a huge part of our puzzle defensively. We feel like he was the best defensive tackle in the country, and he was a major target for us. And he was, he was a guy that was very highly sought after, and rightly so. But we feel like we built a great relationship with him, and things can get confusing down at the end, but I feel like in his heart of hearts he was Auburn through and through, and I feel like he's going to come in here and have, be one of those guys that has an opportunity to have an impact immediately, and we told him that, and we just want him to come in and be Gabe Wright and continue to improve and be a better football player every year, which he's really got a chance to, in my opinion, be a very good player in this league. So that was a huge gift for us, and we're excited to have him and his family on board.
He's a defensive guy and a secondary guy. Just talk about the secondary class that you guys are able to bring.
Yeah, I couldn't be more excited. I could not be more excited. We've got Enrique Florence, obviously, from this state, is a huge kid. Just a tremendous athlete, great student, just a one heck of a football player, and can play so many different positions like he did in high school, but obviously we think he's going to be a great safety for what we're trying to do. I think he brings a great speed element back there. He loves contact, and I think he's going to be really good at that. We've got Jonathan Rose at one corner that obviously is already enrolled. We are thrilled to death. Another young man from the state of Alabama. We felt like he was, again, the best corner, in the state, and really, really big to have him on board here with us right now. Robinson Thursey from Miami. Really a dual guy, plays safety or corner. That's what we really love about him. He's got flexibility in his game and what he brings to the table. Just a phenomenal young man. Played some tailback in high school, and just again a great young man. And then Jermaine Whitehead, you know, that was one that we really were excited about him. This is a great player out of Mississippi that has the ability to play probably numerous amount of things, but we want to play in the corner. And he's another guy that in high school had his hands on the football a lot, so he was a very good and exciting football player offensively as well. And so, you know, our idea is, you know, the more athletes, even when you play them in secondary, the more they've had their hands on the ball and they touch the football and they're used to doing that, you know, then I think you build in the ability back there to, you know, get turnovers and make interceptions and things of that nature. So he's got great speed, good size. Again, we're extremely excited about the whole secondary. And really, that's one of the, as I said earlier, that's one of the parts we really wanted to stress.
Along the same lines, you've got 3 players that are just listed as athletes because of their versatility. Talk a little bit about.
Well, one of them's Quan. Yeah, one of them's Quan Bray. Quan is one of the most exciting players in the state of Georgia, and he can do it all. He can do it all. And he, in our offense, will be a guy that you're really going to have to find out where he is to know what we're doing with him. He's got the ability to play wildcat. He's got the ability to play tailback. He's got the ability to play wide receiver. There's so many things you can do with him, and you know, he just loves having his hands on the ball. He's exciting. He's electric with his hands on the football, and he's going to play on the offensive side of the ball. You got Chris Frost, who is really a very unique individual out of North Carolina. You know, he's played wide receiver and he's played linebacker, and so he's very good at both. So we're going to kind of tinker with that a little bit when he gets here and find out ultimately what his final destination is going to be. We just know that he's a great player, and you know, that's one of the guys that we'll kind of figure it out, you know, as he gets here. But we knew we had to have him here at Auburn. And then C.J. Azuma, really great story with him out of Georgia, North Gwinnett. You know, he's a young man that he's played quarterback, he's played wide receiver. For us on our offense right now, he can be a wide receiver, he can be a quarterback. If we needed him to be, he could be a wide receiver, he could be a tight end type guy, and use him for those type of duties. He's a you know, big kid, you know, very athletic, and I just think it's a unique blend for him of size and speed that allows you to do a lot of different things.
As far as Chris Frost goes, when he committed, I think on the 8th or something like that, and he said there was a period of time, 10 days after that, there's some confusion, some talks going on. What kind of went down?
Well, I'm not going to get into a whole lot of detail because obviously the ultimate deal is that he's here at Auburn, and that's what we wanted. We just had to make sure that we were all on the same page. You know, when we recruit a young man, we want to make sure that him and his family, myself, and the rest of the coaching staff are all on the same page from top to bottom. And we just, that's what we want to make sure of. And obviously, at the end of the day, that's where we got to. And the family's excited, Chris is excited, Auburn and the Auburn family's excited about it. And it was just a great signee for us. Not only just a great football player, again, a great young man. And, you know, he's got it all.
Gene, could you talk about your offensive line signings? And you know, that's kind of an area that's tough for a kid to come in and contribute right away. But could you see some of these guys playing?
You know, one of the things is we targeted these different young men on our offensive line. We felt like we had to really do a great job of evaluating not just are they really good high school players, but what is the opportunity, or what is the probability that they can come in and play young. That was one of the, you know, the biggest criteria. Is when we looked at them, we were trying to, you know, not necessarily, you know, bring a guy in that we felt like 3 years from now could help us. We feel like every one of these guys have the ability, depending on how hard, you know, depending on how fast they learn, to come in here and help us immediately. That was the idea on every offensive lineman that we brought in. And from the two that we already have on campus, you know, Ristas Mooch, which is a great sign out of Spanish Fort here in the state. He's got a great chance to come in and compete for a job right now. He's already in school and he's doing that. Thomas O'Reilly, same thing, has a great chance to come in, compete for a job, and do that. So they're both here. Christian Westerman, I can't say enough about his family. You know, just the recruitment process of him and the ability that we think that he has and what he brings to the table, and the opportunity to come in here and help us right now. This young man on film now, he's dynamite. And it's just going to be how fast he can get, you know, used to the college game. Greg Robinson, you know, just another unbelievable athlete, great size, great athletic ability, and you know, just guys like that, that we think, you know, got a chance to come in and help us right now. So we feel really good about that position.
Gene, do you think, even more so than this past season, when I guess most of the young guys probably played more special teams, that more of these guys are gonna, with so much youth on this team, more of these guys are gonna, you're gonna need for more of these guys to be able to contribute on offense and defense?
Yeah, no question, Phil. I think we're to the point now where I just feel really good about how we're kind of building the roster. You know, our roster management, I think we've done a nice job with that. And a lot of these guys right now, again, as we recruited them, there's still phenomenal opportunities to come in at Auburn and play young. You know, we've only played 2 seasons here. And so we know that the senior class that we just lost was extremely large, which is exactly the way you want it. And again, it creates opportunities for young guys to come in and play while they're young. So some of these guys are definitely going to have to do that, whether that is special team roles, and the guys last year that kind of played in that and moved to the next phase, or whether they come in and literally help, you know, offensively or defensively. But there's a good amount of guys on this signing list right now that we're going to have to count on to come in and play.
Go back to your offensive line. How does Sean Coleman fit into this, Gene?
You know, we're going to wait. You know, Jay, we're going to take that, and we're going to, you know, medically, we've got great people that are, you know, paying attention, a lot of close attention to that. We're just going to let time go by and just kind of see how he progresses. There's no rush for anything. He's doing great. He looks great. He's doing well in school, and that's our main concern right now. We're our main concern that he's healthy as a human being. And then, you know, whatever happens football-wise, that's all icing on the cake, if and when that happens.
Is he on scholarship?
Yes.
So does he count on his class?
There is a kind of a medical issue in there with how we're handling that, because technically he's a medical hardship right now. So.
Right now, you're #1 in the country in the scout rankings. As a coach, do you sort of feel good? I know you're competitive. You're not overly concerned with that, but you got to feel good looking up there who you're with, all these top football programs in the country.
You know, Mark, you know, I'm just happy for our fans. You know, I'm happy for the Auburn family. You know, as I've said it before, you know, one of the great things about, having a coaching staff who you've been able to keep together for 3 years. I think this allows you to have the ability to go out and recruit these types of classes, whether these classes are ranked 1 or 3 or 5 or 9, you know, I don't know all that. But I know that they are what we needed. And my hat, again, is off to all those 9 guys on the road that just, I mean, were relentless in the pursuit of what we needed. So, hey, you know, we won't know what these classes are, obviously, and how they pan out for, you know, years to come. But I will say that I'm happy, not because somebody ranked us 1 or 3 or 5. I'm just really happy because we got what we felt like we needed.
Did you get a bump from winning the national championship this year?
I think it helped with some guys. You know, I think that at the end of the day, we're hoping that really, you know, kind of propels itself into next year's class, because we had so many guys at that point in time that had already been committed, either publicly or behind the scenes, you know, and so There were some though at the end that I feel like that, kind of the publicity and all of that came with it. I think it certainly helped, but, again, by that point in time, there was just so many commitments already made.
You talk about need, talk about the running back position and the guy you're able to get there.
Yeah, Trey Mason, really excited about Trey. And, just a young guy that we brought in and really started recruiting during the season. Played in a very tough league down in Florida. Sophomore year rushed for somewhere around 1,500 yards, junior somewhere around 14, senior year somewhere around 1,600 yards, give or take. Don't hold me to that, but it's close. And so, just a kid that we really felt like, with Michael Dyer back there, Ontario McCaleb back there, was a great complement and great mix for what we're trying to do there. And, he's just a very good fit. And so, he's going to be, at the end of the day, he's going to be a 200-pound, 200-plus pound running back at the end of the day. But he's got great vision, and he makes great cuts out there, and he's got a knack for it. He's natural. And I think in our offense, we'll be able to do various things with him. So I think he's just a great fit for what we're looking for.
The last 2 years, you really had two freshman running backs who were able to step up and play, Ontario and then Mike Dyer. Do you foresee that being a possibility for Trey as well, just because of, I guess, the running backs that you bring in and the last two that have worked out so well right off the bat?
Well, I think one of the things that we do a really good job of is really trying to figure out a fit for those guys when they come in, and not only just a fit, but how we're going to work them in. That's really, really important. I think we've done a good job of that. So, when Trey comes in, we're going to figure out what he can and can't do within the offense. How fast he learns it will, dictate, how fast he sees the playing field. And so we're going to expect him to come in and play. And, so a lot of people kind of do it in reverse and say, well, we're going to expect you to get redshirt until you show we can play or whatnot. We come in and we say that we expect everybody to play till basically, we feel like after, heavy evaluation and close evaluation that, you're just not quite ready.
You mentioned Gabe a little while ago, but talk about some of the other defensive linemen, because there may be opportunity for one of them.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Devontae Sigler from down in Mobile, great defensive lineman. Really unique position that he was in high school, played in the middle linebacker some. Kind of an under-the-radar guy a little bit, but then, I think as his senior year went on, played a little bit hurt, but we really think he's going to be really a big physical presence. He's about 6'4", he's about 255 or 60 right now. Could very well, and he's got a very quick first step, could grow into an inside defensive lineman. Jabrian Niles, same thing. Out of Davidson, just another great kid from the state of Alabama that we signed. He's very athletic, believe it or not, used to be a quarterback. He grew himself into a 270-pound defensive lineman. This got another, quick first step. Angelo Blackson. Again, this is a 307-pound young man. When you watch him run around out there athletically, when you watch him on film, that would almost shock you. And I think all these guys really have a lot of room for development. And, as we looked at these guys, we just think they all have huge upsides. With their strength, physically, and, just with all that being said, they all have a chance, to come in and play. There's no question about that. And let's see, I want to make sure I didn't leave anybody out because I'm going to hurt somebody's feelings. Kamaya Harrell, another Alabama young man from Dallas County, 6'4", plus probably 235 pounds. Great athlete when you watch him practice basketball. Another guy kind of under the radar. We like that. We like that. We like going out and evaluating guys that we say, you know what, man, this guy fits what we want to do. And he's another young man that we really think is going to explode. And we think that his upside is huge. So feel really good about those guys.
So time for two more?
It's just like Kyle Frazier. He's been committed a long time.
Oh, let me tell you something. He's one of the heart and souls of this class. And I told him today on the phone, I said how much I appreciate him. He's never once wavered, never once thought about anything except helping recruit a great class. He has been our #1 guy that has gone out and talked to all the other kids about coming to Auburn. And, you know, he's been Auburn through and through since the day he committed, and doing it from a hard position, which is in the state of Arkansas, and, you know, leaving his home state. That's hard to do. But he's just been great. We think he's going to be a tremendous addition. Obviously, he's got some previous time built up, reps built up, and an offense very similar to the one we run here. So that's going to be a huge advantage for him. But just great to have him and his family on board. Couldn't be more proud of him and you know what he brought to the table for our recruiting class.
As far as pursuing unsigned kids from the 2011 class, guys who haven't signed yet, can you guys continue to recruit them and go after them and call them? What are the rules?
Yes, we can continue on the recruiting process and recruit them until we fill up our numbers or we choose to stop.
Gene, I was going to ask, I know you can't mention his name, but there was a player that announced for Auburn earlier today that's not on this list. At what point do you stop waiting for the facts to come in and move on to someone else, or are you content to wait for the class to fill up that?
You know, again, I'm only going to talk about the ones that we've got paperwork in and we've signed.
All right, Coach, thank you.